Everyone, hopefully it's not too zoomed in. My name is Alejandro here with Resilient Path with Alejandro. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me. And at the end of the video or in the middle of the video, please stop and let me know your thoughts. If I left out anything, if I should incorporate anything. I am thinking about making videos in Spanish, same videos, just in another language. But regardless, just let me know your thoughts. Originally, I was going to make this into a short, but I realized it's too much information for 3 minutes. And so I want to keep this video for 10 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is part two of my series of working tips and tricks of working with a real estate agent or broker. Remember, number one, agent, broker are simultaneously used and they mean the same thing in most states. I'm in the state of California. So, number two, always check your state laws, right? What is applicable and implemented in California is obviously not implemented or applicable in the state of Texas, New York, Washington, Wyoming, whatever it may be. Okay? And number three, remember, this is my this is coming from my personal experience, it's my personal opinion, and I always practice HDR, honest, direct, and respectful communication. Let's get into the video. In this episode, I like to touch a little bit on, or a lot of it on, the buyer broker agreement. So, in the state of California, when you are wanting to purchase a home, right, you need to work with an agent. And when you work with an agent, you typically have to sign a document. And that document is typically the form that comes from the National Association of Realtors, NAR. Now realize this. In California, you need to sign an agreement with the broker, set a timeline. It doesn't matter if it's for 1 day, 30 days, 2 years, as long as there's a timeline. We have a Senate bill here that um, we have to abide to, both the buyer and the broker. What you won't be told, okay, the first thing is, well, actually, what you will be told is it is suggested that we enter into a 90-day agreement. Suggested. It is not state law here in the state of California. That is a suggestion that a lot of brokerage firms, the companies that do the whole real estate thing, and the brokers and agents, that they will tell you. You as the consumer have the ability to set the expectations and the standards, okay? You can enter into an agreement for 10 days. 30 days is typically what I would recommend individuals, because the real work comes in the negotiation part of things that the realtor, the agent, has to do on your behalf. Okay? So what happens if you enter into a 90-day agreement and deals fall after fall, they don't go anywhere. Well, maybe it's a you problem, but it's also an agent problem. Maybe that agent is just not fit to work with you. And this is assuming that you've done your due diligence and interviewed multiple agents that align with the values and your objectives. Now, number two, realize that there's a continuation period. I would recommend putting a number down on this continuation period and not leaving it blank. One of the things I learned when reviewing my own formularies, agreements with agents, is that that was often left out. My recommendation, from my personal experience, what I've done is 7 days. Okay. And this allows essentially the relationship to continue after the agreed timeline that you're working with that agent. So, in case if anything happens during that time, that agent will still get paid in certain circumstances. And I won't go into detail about that. That's probably for a more in-depth video, and I probably have to do a PowerPoint presentation just to do that. But just make sure that there's a number on there. Typically, agents will tell you they do continuation periods for 14 days. Some will agree to do 7 days, but is no state law in the state of California that sets a certain number for the continuation period. Just have that something on there. Otherwise, it's open to interpretation. in the legal eyes. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, by the way. Okay, the 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 second, or actually the third thing that you need to do is review the broker's commission. The standard, I believe, is 2.5%. I'm hearing now, and I'm looking up, I'm seeing on Facebook that the standard is 3% now. Honestly, 2.5 to 3% is typically the standard, but 2.5 has always been the standard. Um, and unfortunately, for consumers, a lot of people are starting to see brokers setting 3% now. Now, I understand we all need to make money. We all need to cover our expenses. We all have bills to pay, but everyone needs to earn that commission. And again, that's why I recommend setting a 30-day timeline, because you want to make sure that that broker is negotiating and being your biggest advocate when you're purchasing a home. Okay? So, if they put 3%, they better put in that work, and they better make sure that they're working with you as the consumer, the buyer. The um the fourth thing, I guess the fourth tip here is just make sure that um you're reviewing this document, right? That you're reviewing the document, that there are no additional fees included into your agreement, and that this is you also have the option. This is an added bonus. This is related to what I'm going to talk about. You have the option to put whether this is an exclusive relationship or an inclusive relationship. It's still an agreement at the end of the day, but I it- typically, you're entering into an exclusive relationship either way, right? And so the exclusivity ends when the timeline of that set time frame ends. Okay, so just look out for that. Make sure that that's there. Now, going back to the fees, I've had experience where I've had agents put in language to where if the relationship ends, I'm responsible for any type of fees. And that's a major, major red flag. Okay. You don't have to go out to eat with your agent. You don't have to go out and get coffee with your agent. If you can, my recommendation is just pay for it yourself, because you don't want any type of loophole coming back to you. Okay? They can write it off. That's totally fine. But we're all human at the end of the day, and some of us have certain intentions that others may not be aware about, and that's totally fine. But if an agent is going to be charging you in the addendum, I'm going to be charging you for certain fees because I put in this time, I put in this time, I put in this energy, and you're the one that's sending them houses, you're the one that's looking at the property and going to the open houses, make sure that there are no additional fees, because that is a major red flag. Okay. I don't understand that aspect. Maybe in another future video, I will show you what I'm talking about. But it definitely concerned me to where I said, no, I'm not signing any papers. I'm not signing any papers. Now, I I am going to share a document that I have that I created for myself and for you, of questions that you should ask your realtor, of items that you should have as a checklist for guidance, um, in terms of just making sure that you know, you're keeping track of what's going on, of the energy that you're putting in, because it's not just that realtor that's putting in time, energy, resources, money, and sanity. Those are the terms of buying a home. You are also abiding to those terms. You're also putting time, you're putting energy, you're putting resources, you're putting your money, and you're also putting your sanity at stake. So, I hope this video helped. Again, I come to everyone respectfully, honest, and direct. And I really just want to provide value, be helpful to a wide range of audience when it comes down to buying a home It's the biggest investment that you can do right now, especially in the economical times that we're in. And I really hope that your journey to buying a home, whether it's this year, next year, or the next 10 years, is a smooth one because I know it's not easy. Thank you so much. Follow for more tips. I'll see you in the next video.